Hi, this is Christine Crowle, and it's coming to the end of Black History Month, and what this month has meant to me, and I want everyone to think in terms of what this month of February has meant to you. For me, I've done some research into who I am, my identity, my bloodline. I've gone back as far as 139 years because I wanted to see where I came from. Like this. It's looking at this beautiful meadow here. Where do we come from? And I looked at myself. I took a look in the mirror. I saw my mother. I saw my grandmother. And I then thought, who else is in my bloodline? So I did a research, like I said, 139 years. And there seems to be a common theme here, that there's been matriarchs in the family, the head of the household, the mother, who was doing multiple tasks. And I realized that we have over 100 years of healthcare professionals in my family, which I didn't realize how strong that is. My great-grandmother, 139 years ago, she was born, and she was the matriarch. And I thought to myself, wow, I didn't realize how powerful that the role models are in my family. My mothers, my aunties, my sisters, my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. And it made me look at the types of jobs. So for me, my calling is healthcare, and my calling is to educate as well. And when I looked at the lifeline, the bloodline in my family, I saw nurses, I saw healthcare assistants, I saw educators, I saw civil servants, I saw inspectors, and I also saw engineers, as well as voluntary charitable work that was being done. So I went back into my roots, my identity, and I started to see similarities in my ancestors from 100 years ago. So what is the century, 100 years, which I looked through and I identified with who they are. And it made me realize of who I am because of them. I looked back, and I'm here in the future, but I'm also back there as well. They are still a part of me, and they are there backing me and encouraging me. We have business ideas that we can think about, and it's about making 2021 for you. You don't want to work for a boss. Why not create your own dream, your own bloodline? Let that continue, the legacy. And I just wanted to reach out to you about that, because I'm looking back in my life and my ancestors' life, and this is why I'm in this field here today, is to think about and be at one with them, doing things that they used to do. See, this is me. This is me, Christine. This is what I enjoy to do as well. It's about work-life balance and thinking about what makes you happy. What makes you happy here? We're on this earth. We don't know how long we've got. With 2021, why not make that start to your future, to carry on the bloodline, the legacy of your family and your loved ones, because they're with you all the time. I realize that. It's taken me all this time to realize. but I know that they are with me all the time. And I want you to reach inside of you and to see who your bloodline is. I challenge you to do a 100-year bloodline to see who, what, and what occupations they held, and to see whether it matches what you've got, because then you'll see there is still the continuous of building your legacy. You will see that they are similarities. Like me, I was blown away, and I even feel more stronger now with carrying on with what I am doing today, and I want you to be a part of this family. So part of my heritage that I remember as a child is that we had ripe green bananas. We'd also have plantain as well, and yams. And that's part of my heritage, and it's food as well as goat. It's a food that I always will remember, very fond of. It reminds me of my heritage, my family. One of my favourite dishes is the banana, yam, curry goat, and also there's plantain as well, which can be fried. I always remember my mum as well doing scrambled egg and plantain with some different types of meat as well. You know, this was things that we would have even at breakfast time, and those are fond memories as a child. And I just wanted to talk about my black heritage. You know, it's not just about Black History Month. My children, whenever I cook curry goat, one of the things that they say, and it makes me laugh because there's so many things out there that they could have chosen. What would you like me to cook? What is your favourite meal? And their favourite meal, they always say, Mum, can you cook some curry goat and rice and peas? And that is something which I do every single month because my family and my children love to eat it as well. And it's one of their favourite meals. So I love my black heritage. I love Black History Month because it's taken me back and thinking about all the different things that I enjoyed as a child and with my family and growing up with my brothers and sisters and my aunties and uncles and my grandmas and my mum and dad. It's wonderful. My cousins. So just something to bring you into my life. My grandma, I used to call her Granny, and Granny Eunice this is, and this is my mum's mum, for example. I always, when I used to visit her, she always would be cooking Jamaican rum cake. She'd have a big bucket of this cake mixture, and what we'd have to do is I would be there mincing the mince meat, for example, which is the sweet mince, the raisins, should I say. So I'd have to mince it, and she would have this massive paste bucket, and then she'd have rum, brandy, wine, cinnamon, nutmeg, flavors. The flavors was pow, you know, and she would mix it, not with a spoon. She would actually use her hand. She'd roll up her sleeve and she'd use her hand to mix this mixture of cake, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. My father and my mother would cook beautiful meals with yam, banana, plantain. It was beautiful. And I always remember the different types of soups that they would cook, the different types of breakfast meals they would do with banana. You know, at the time when I was a child, I was like, banana again? But now I'd give anything to have that time back again, to watch them cooking those meals for me. So my grandma, Henrietta, she used to have a business whereby she was in charge of a fishing port in Portland, Jamaica. And what would happen is that the family would get fish, and then they would sell it on to the community and also to the restaurants that she had, whereby she would deliver and cook the food fresh for the different organizations that would use her services. So it was like she was doing catering, banqueting. And what was wonderful about this, all of the children, my father, Marcus, my auntie, Sissy, my auntie Gloria, all of Dad's brothers and sisters, there was 21 of them all together, which is quite a lot. What was so wonderful is that Grandma would get them to deliver the fish to different places, to a shop, collect the money for selling the fish, and then the children would have to obviously have this money and bring back the cash for Grandma. And what was wonderful is she was so well known in the community. My father had, the family had servants as well, but my father was the type of person whereby he used to actually go down into the kitchen and cook with them. My father loved to cook fish. That's all my father used to eat, was fish, fish, fish. He just loves the goodness that is in the fish, fresh herbs, vegetables, spices, herbs. He just loved going to the herbalist as well. But my dad would season the fish. It was delicious. And I'm just looking at this now, and it's just taking me back to my father cooking his fish in the kitchen. And he just loved cooking all the time when he wasn't working. That was one of his hobbies. And he loved to see beautiful things. Anyone that knew my father would agree with me here. And you know, I'm looking here at all of this beauty that is around me, and I am so blessed to be enjoying all of this. You know, it just makes me go back in time of what I remember as a child and as an adult. I cook fish today. I love to cook. You'll see from my cooking shows anyway. But this is like, this reminds me of my father, Marcus Owen Harrison. And this, his legacy from his grandma is that he learned how to do the fish, gut it and cook it to perfection. Every type of fish. He knew what herbs, what vegetables went with certain fishes. He knew what he was doing. It's just a shame I didn't get to meet my grandma because she lived in Jamaica. But she's inside of me. She's in here in spirit. And this is to you, Grandma and Dad. Thank you for bringing me here to this beautiful place, for me to appreciate it the way you enjoyed it as well.